1789. How does the loser, orphan, immigrant, decorated war vet unite the colonies through more debt? Fight the other founding fathers till he has to forfeit. Have it all, lose it all. You ready for more yet? Treasury Secretary, Washington's the president. Every American experiment sets a precedent. Not so fast, someone came along to resist him. Made him mad until we had a two-party system. You haven't met him yet, you haven't had a chance, cause he's been kicking butt as the ambassador to France. But someone's gotta keep the American promise. You simply must meet Thomas Jefferson's coming home. 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 Lord, he's been off in Paris for so long. France is following us to revolution. There is no more status quo. But the sun comes up and the world still spins. I helped Lafayette draft a declaration. Then I said I gotta go. I gotta be in Monticello. Now the work at home begins. So what did I miss? What did I miss? Virginia, my home, sweet home, I wanna give you a kiss. I've been in Paris meeting lots of different ladies. I guess I basically missed the late 80s. I traveled the wide, wide world and came back to this. There's a letter on my desk from the president. Haven't even put my bag down yet. Sadly, BLM, darling, won't you open it? It says the president's assembling the cabinet, and that I am to be the Secretary of State. Great, and that I'm already Senate approved. I just got home and now I'm headed up to New York. Headed to New York. Looking at the rolling fields, I can't believe that we are free. Ready to face whatever's awaiting me in NYC. But who's waiting for me when I step into place? My friend James Madison, right into the face. He grabs my arm and I respond, what's going on? Thomas, we are engaged in a battle for our nation's very soul. Can you get us out of the mess we're in? Hamilton's new financial plan is nothing less than government control. I've been fighting for the South alone. Where have you been? France? We have to win. But what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? I've come home to this. Head first into a political abyss. Head first into the abyss. I have my first cabinet meeting today. I guess I better think of something to say. I'm already on my way to get to the bottom of this. What did I miss? Mr. Jefferson, welcome home. Mr. Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton. Mr. Jefferson, welcome home. Mr. Jefferson, welcome home, sir. You've been off in Paris for so long. So what did I miss? Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us in New York City. Are you ready for a cabinet meeting? Yes. The issue on the table. Secretary Hamilton's plan to assume state debts and establish a national bank. Secretary Jefferson, you have the floor, sir. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals, we shouldn't settle for less. These are wise words and surprising men quote them. Don't act surprised, you guys, cause I wrote them. Yes. Ow, but Hamilton forgets. His plan would have the government assume states' debts. Now place your bets as to who that benefits. The very seat of government where Hamilton sits. Not true. Ooh, if the shoe fits, wear it. If New York's in debt, why should Virginia bear it? Our debts are paid, I'm afraid. Don't tax the South, cause we got it made in the shade. In Virginia, we plant seeds in the ground. We create, you just wanna move our money around. This financial plan is an outrageous demand, and it's too many darn pages for any man to understand. Stand with me in the land of the free. Pray to God we never see Hamilton's candidacy. Look, when Britain taxed our tea, we got frisky. Imagine what go happen when you try and tax our whiskey. Wait. Thank you, Secretary Jefferson. Secretary Hamilton, your response. Thomas, that was a real nice declaration. Welcome to the present, we're running a real nation. Would you like to join us? Or stay mellow doing whatever the heck it is you doing, Mazzacello? If we assume the debts the union gets, a new line of credit, a financial diuretic, how do you not get it? If we're aggressive and competitive, the union gets a boost, you'd rather give it a sedative? A civics lesson from a slaver. Hey neighbor, your debts are paid cause you don't pay for labor. We plant seeds in the South, we create, yeah, keep ranting. We know who's really doing the planting. And another thing, Mr. Age of Enlightenment, don't lecture me about the war, you didn't fight in it. You think I'm frightened of you, man? We almost died in the trench while you were off getting high with the French. Thomas Jefferson always hesitant with the president, reticent. There isn't a plane he doesn't jettison. Madison, you mad as a hatter, son, taking medicine. Darn, you in worse shape than the national debt is in. Sitting there, useless as two poops. Hey, turn around, bend over, I'll show you where my shoe fits. Excuse me, Madison, Jefferson, take a walk. Hamilton, take a walk. We're gonna reconvene after a brief recess. Hamilton, sir, a word. You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes. You're gonna need congressional approval and you don't have the votes. Such a blunder, sometimes it makes me wonder why I even bring the thunder. Why he even brings the thunder? You wanna pull yourself together? I'm sorry, these Virginians are birds of a feather. Young man, I'm from Virginia, so watch your mouth. So we let Congress get held hostage by the South? You need the votes. No, we need bold strokes. We need this plan. No, you need to convince more folks. Well, James Madison won't talk to me. That's a non-starter. Winning was easy, young man. Governing's hard. They're being intransigent. You have to find a compromise. But they don't have a plan. They just hate mine. Convince them otherwise. And what happens if I don't get congressional approval? I imagine they'll call for your removal. Sir, figure it out, Alexander. That's an order from your commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My dearest Angelica, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. I trust you'll understand the reference to another Scottish tragedy without my having to name the play. They think me Macbeth, and ambition is my folly. I'm a polymath, a pain in the butt, a massive pain. Madison is Banquo, Jefferson's Macduff, and Burnham Wood is Congress on its way to Dunsinane. And there you are, an ocean away. You have to live an ocean away. Thoughts of you subside, then I get another letter, and I cannot put the notion away. Take a break, I am on my way. There's a little surprise before supper, and it cannot wait. I'll be there in just a minute, save my plate. Alexander, okay. Your son is 9 years old today, and he has something he'd like to say. He's been practicing all day. Philip, take it away. Daddy, look, my name is Philip. I am a poet. I wrote this poem just to show it. And I just turned 9. You can write rhymes, but you can't write mine. What? I practice French and play piano with my mother. I have a sister, but I want a little brother. Okay. My dad is trying to start America's bake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bravo! Take a break. Hey, our kid is pretty great. Run away with us for the summer. Let's go upstate. Eliza, I've got so much on my plate. We can all go stay with my father. There's a lake I know, in a nearby park. I'd love to go. You and I can go when the night gets dark. I will try to get away. My dearest Alexander, you must get through to Jefferson. Sit down with him and compromise. Don't stop till you agree. Your favorite older sister, Angelica, reminds you that there's someone in the corner all the way across the sea. In a letter I received from you 2 weeks ago, I noticed a comma in the middle of a phrase. It changed the meaning. Did you intend this? One stroke and you've consumed my waking days. It says, my dearest Angelica, with a comma after dearest. You've written, my dearest Angelica. Anyway, all this to say, I'm coming home this summer at my sister's invitation. I'll be there with your family if you make your way upstate. I know you're very busy, I know your work's important, but I'm crossing the ocean and I just can't wait. You won't be an ocean away, we'll only be a moment away. Alexander, come downstairs. Angelica's arriving today. Oh. Angelica, Eliza, the Schuyler sisters. Alexander, hi, it's good to see your face. Angelica, tell this man John Adams spends the summer with his family. Angelica, tell my wife John Adams doesn't have a real job anyway. You're not joining us, wait, I'm afraid I cannot join you upstate. Alexander, I came all this way. She came all this way, take a break. You know I have to get my plan through Congress. Run away with us for the summer, let's go upstate. I lose my job if I don't get this plan through Congress. And I'll go stay with our father. There's a lake, I know I'll miss your face. And nearby screw your courage to the sticking place. When I can go, right, take a break and get away. Run away with us for the summer, let's go upstate where we can stay. And I'll go stay with our father. You take your time, look around and how lucky we are to be alive right now. Closing your eyes and dream. Go when the night gets dark. Take a break. I have to get my plan through Congress. I can't stop until I get my plan through Congress. There's nothing like summer in the city. Someone under stress meets someone looking pretty. There's trouble in the air, you can smell it. And Alexander's by himself, I'll let him tell it. I hadn't slept in a week, I was weak, I was awake. You've never seen a loser orphan more in need of a break. Longing for Angelica, missing my wife. That's when Miss Mariah Reynolds walked into my life. She said, I know you are a man of honor. I'm so sorry to bother you at home, but I don't know where to go. And I came here all alone. She said, my husband's doing me wrong, beating me, cheating me, mistreating me. Suddenly he's up and gone. I don't have the means to go on. So I offered her a loan, I offered to walk her home. She said, you're too kind, sir. I gave her $30 that I had socked away. She lived a block away. She said, this one's mine, sir. Then I said, well, I should head back home. She turned red, she led me to her bed, let her legs spread and said, stay, hey, hey. That's when I began to pray, Lord, show me how to say no to this. I don't know how to say no to this. Oh my God, she looked so helpless. And her body's saying heck yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Show me how to say no to this. I don't know how to say no to this. In my mind I'm trying to go, 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 go. Then her mouth is on mine and I don't say no, no. Say no to this. 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 I wish I could say that was the last time I said that last time. It became a pastime. A month into this endeavor, I received a letter from a Mr. James Reynolds. Even better, it said, Dear sir, I hope this letter finds you in good health and in a prosperous enough position to put wealth in the pockets of people like me down under luck. You see, that wasn't my wife you decided to Uh-oh, you made the wrong sucker a cuckold, so time to pay the piper for the pants you unbuckled. And hey, you can keep seeing my poor wife if the price is right. If not, I'm telling your wife. I hid the letter and I raced to her place, screamed, how could you, in her face? She said, no sir. Half dressed, apologetic, a mess. She looked pathetic, she cried, please don't go sir. So was your whole story a setup? I don't know about any letter. Stop crying, gosh darn it, get up. I didn't know any better. I am ruined, please don't leave me with him helpless. How could I do this? Just give him what he wants and you can have I don't me. Want you, whatever you I don't want you. If you I don't you can stay. Lord, show me how to say no to this. I don't know how to say no to this. If the situation's helpless, help, and her body's screaming heck yes. Whoa, Lord, show me how to say no to this. How can I say no to this? There is nowhere I can go. Go, go, go. When her body's on mine, I do not say no. Yes, say no to this. 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 Say no to this. I don't say no to this. There is nowhere I can go. Go, go, go. So? Nobody needs to know. Ah, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Burr, sir. And did you hear the news about good old General Mercer? No. You know, Claremont Street? Yeah. They renamed it after him. The Mercer legacy is secure. Sure. And all he had to do was die. Well, that's a lot less work. We ought to give it a try. Now how you gonna get your debt plan through? I guess I'm gonna finally have to listen to you. Really? Talk less, smile more. Do whatever it takes to get my plan on the Congress floor. Now Madison and Jefferson are merciless. Well, hate the sin, love the sinner. Hamilton. I'm sorry, Burr, I've gotta go. But decisions are happening over dinner. Two Virginians and an immigrant walk into a room diametrically opposed foes. They emerged with a compromise, having opened doors that were previously closed. Bros. The immigrant emerges with unprecedented financial power, a system he can shape however he wants. The Virginians emerge with the nation's capital, and here's the pièce de résistance. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the game is played, the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made. We just assume that it happened, but no one else was in the room where it happens. Thomas claims Alexander was on Washington's doorstep one day in distress and disarray. Thomas claims Alexander said, I've nowhere else to turn, and basically begged me to join the fray. Thomas claims I approached Madison and said, I know you hate him, but let's hear what he has to say. Thomas claims, well, I arranged the meeting, I arranged the menu, the venue, the seating, but no one else is in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the parties get to yes, the pieces that are sacrificed in every game of chess. We just assume that it happens, but no one else was in the room where it happens. Meanwhile, Madison is grappling with the fact that not every issue can be settled by committee. Meanwhile, Congress is fighting over where to put the capital. Put it in Washington. It isn't pretty. The Jefferson approaches with the dinner and invite, and Madison responds with Virginian insight. Maybe we can solve one problem with another and win a victory for the Southerners. In other words, oh ho, a quid pro quo, I suppose. Wouldn't you like to work a little closer to home? Actually, I would. Well, I propose the Potomac, and you'll provide him his vote. Well, we'll see how it goes. Let's go. No! What else was in the room where it happened? The room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. My God, in God we trust, but we'll never really know what got discussed. Click, boom, and it happened. And no one else was in the room where it happened. Alexander Hamilton. What did they say to you to get you to sell New York City down the river? Alexander Hamilton. Did Washington know about the dinner? Was the presidential pressure to deliver? Alexander Hamilton. Or did you know even then it doesn't matter where you put the U.S. Capitol?
Cause we'll have the banks, we're in the same spot.
You got more than you gave.
And I wanted what I got. When you got skin in the game, you stay in the game. But you don't get a win unless you play in the game. Oh, you get love for it, you get hate for it, you get nothing if you wait for it, wait for it, wait. God help and forgive me. I wanna build something that's gonna outlive me. What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
If you stand for nothing,
what do you want? What do you want?
I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens.
I wanna be in the room where it happens.
I wanna
the room
be
where it happens.
the room where it happens.
I wanna be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens. The room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens.
I wanna be
where it happens.
I wanna be
where it happens.
I've got to
I wanna be.
I've got to be in the room
where it happens.
that big old room.
The art of the compromise.
Hold your nose and close your eyes.
We want our leaders to save the day,
But we don't get a say in what they trade away.
we dream of a brand new start.
But we dream in the dark for the most part.
Dark as a tomb where it happens.
I've got to be in the room
where it happens.
I've got to be
room where it happens.
I've got to be
The room where it happens.
Oh, I've got to be in the
room where it happens.
I've got to be
room
I
where
wanna
it happens.
be in the room.
room where it happens.
Click, boom. Look, Grandpa's in the paper. War hero Philip Schuyler loses Senate seat to young upstart Aaron Burr. Grandpa just lost a seat in the Senate. Sometimes that's how it goes. Daddy's gonna find out any minute. I'm sure he already knows. Further down, let's meet the newest senator from New York, our senator. Burr? Since when were you a Democratic Republican? Since being one put me on the up and up again. No one knows who you are or what you do. They don't need to know me, they don't like you. Excuse me? Oh, Wall Street thinks you're great. You'll always be adored by the things you create, but upstate? Wait, people think you're crooked. The scholar seat was up for grabs, so I took it. I've always considered you a friend. I don't see why that has to end. You changed parties to run against my father-in-law. I changed parties to seize the opportunity I saw. I swear your pride will be the death of us all. Beware, it goeth before the fall. The issue on the table. France is on the verge of war with England. Do we provide aid and troops to our French allies, or do we stay out of it? Remember, my decision on this matter is not subject to congressional approval. The only person you have to convince is me. Secretary Jefferson, you have the floor, sir. When we were on death's door when we were needy, we made a promise. We signed a treaty. We needed money and guns and half a chance. Who provided those funds? France. In return, they didn't ask for land. Only a promise that we'd lend a hand and stand with them if they fought against oppressors, and revolution is messy, but now is the time to stand. Stand with our brothers as they fight against tyranny. I know that Alexander Hamilton is here, and he would rather not have this debate. I'll remind you that he is not Secretary of State. He knows nothing of loyalty. Nothing! Smells like new money, dresses like fake royalty, desperate to rise above his station. Everything he does betrays the ideals of our nation. Hey, and if you don't know, now you know, Mr. President. Thank you, Secretary Jefferson. Secretary Hamilton, your response.
Yeah, say it.
There's no talk.
Can't beat that.
How?
Literally, how you gonna do that?
You must be out of your gosh darn mind if you think the president is gonna bring the nation to the brink of meddling in the middle of a military mess, a game of chess where France is queen and kingless. We signed a treaty with a king whose head is now in a basket. Would you like to take it down and ask it? Should we honor our treaty, King Louis said? Do whatever you want. I'm super dead. Enough. Hamilton is right. Mr. President, we're too fragile to start another fight. But Sir, do we not fight for freedom? Sure, when the French figure out who's gonna lead them. The people are leading. The people are rioting. There's a difference. Frankly, it's a little disquieting. You will let your ideals blind you to reality. Hamilton? Sir? Draft a statement of neutrality. Did you forget Lafayette? What? Have you an ounce of regret? You accumulate debt, you accumulate power, yet in their hour of need you forget. Lafayette's a smart man, he'll be fine. And before he was your friend, he was mine. If we try to fight in every revolution in the world, we never stop. Where do we draw the line? So quick-witted. Alas, I admit it. I bet you were quite a lawyer. My defendants got acquitted. Yeah, well, someone ought to remind you. What? You're nothing without Washington behind you. Hamilton. Daddy's calling. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. Every action has a sequel opposite reaction. Thanks to Hamilton, our cabinet's fractured into factions. Try not to crack under the stress, or we're breaking down like fractions. We smack each other in the press and we don't print retractions. I get no satisfaction witnessing his fits of passion. The way he prips and preens and dresses like the bits of fashion. Our poorest citizens, our farmers, live ration to ration as Wall Street robs them blind in search of chips to cash in. This jerk is asking for someone to bring him to task. Somebody's give me some dirt on his vacuous mask so we can at last unmask him. I'll pull the trigger on him, someone load the gun and cock it. While we were all watching, he got Washington in his pocket. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. Look back at the Bill of Rights, which I wrote. The ink hasn't dried. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. So he's doubled the size of the government. Wasn't the trouble with much of our previous government size. Look in his eyes, see how he lies. Follow the scent of his enterprise. Centralizing national credit and making American credit competitive. If we don't stop it, we aid and abet it. I have to resign. Somebody has to stand up for the South. Somebody has to stand up to his mouth. If there's a fire you're trying to douse, you can't put it out from inside the house. I'm in the cabinet, I ain't complicit in Washington grabbing their power and kissing it. Washington isn't gonna listen to disciplined dissidents. This is the difference, this kid is out. Oh, this immigrant isn't somebody we chose. Oh, this immigrant's keeping us all on our toes. Oh, so these federalists what they're up against. Oh, Southern mother-loving Democratic Republicans. Oh, let's follow the money and see where it goes. Oh, because every second the treasury grows. Oh, let's follow the money and see where it leads. Get in the weeds, look for the seeds of Hamilton's misdeeds. It must be nice, it must be nice. Follow the money and see where it goes. It must be nice, it must be nice. The emperor has no clothes. We won't be invisible, we won't be denied. Still, it must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. Mr. President, you asked to see me. I know you're busy. What do you need, sir? Sir, I want to give you a word of warning. Sir, I don't know what you heard, but whatever it is, Jefferson started it. Thomas Jefferson resigned this morning. You're kidding. I need a favor. Whatever you say, sir. Jefferson will pay for his behavior. Talk less. I'll use the press. I'll write under a pseudonym. You'll see what I can do to him. I need you to draft an address. Yes, he resigned. You can finally speak your mind. No. He's stepping down so he can run for president. Ha! Good luck defeating you, sir. I'm stepping down. I'm not running for president. I'm sorry, what? One last time. Relax, have a drink with me one last time. Let's take a break tonight, and then we'll teach them how to say goodbye. To say goodbye, you and I. No, sir, why? I wanna talk about neutrality.
Sir, with Britain and France on the verge of war, is this the best
I
time?
wanna warn against partisan fighting, but pick up a pen, start writing. I wanna talk about what I have learned, the hard-won wisdom I have earned.
As far as the people are concerned, you have to serve.
You could continue to serve.
No.
One last time, the people will hear from me. One last time, and if we get this right, we're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. You and I.
Mr. President,
They will say you're weak. No, they will see we're strong.
your position is so unique.
So I'll use it to move them along.
Why do you have to say goodbye?
If I say goodbye, the nation learns to move on. It outlives me when I'm gone. Like the scripture says, everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. They'll be safe in the nation we've made. I want to sit under my own vine and fig tree, a moment alone in the shade, at home in this nation we've made. One last time, one last time. Though in reviewing the incidents of my administration, I am unconscious of intentional error, I am nevertheless too sensible of my defects not to think it probable that I may have committed many errors. I shall also carry with me the hope that my country will view them with indulgence, and that after 45 years of my life dedicated to its service with an upright zeal, the faults of incompetent abilities will be consigned to oblivion, as I myself must soon be the mansions of rest. I anticipate with pleasing expectation that I retreat in which I promise myself to realize the sweet enjoyment of partaking in the midst of my fellow citizens, the benign influence of good laws under a free government, the ever-favorite object of my heart, and the happy reward as I trust of our mutual cares, labors, and dangers. One last time, George Washington's going home. George Washington's going home. You and I. George Washington's going home. Going home. George Washington's going home. History has its eyes on George Washington's going home. We're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. Teach them how to say goodbye. Teach them how to say goodbye. Say goodbye. One last time. One last time. They say George Washington's yielding his power and stepping away. Is that true? I wasn't aware that was something a person could do. I'm perplexed. Are they going to keep on replacing whoever's in charge? If so, who's next? There's nobody else in their country who looms quite as large. What? John Adams? I know him. That can't be. That's that little guy who spoke to me all those years ago. What was it? 85? That poor man, they're going to eat him alive. Oceans rise, empires fall. Next to Washington, they all look small. All alone, watch them run. They will tear each other into pieces. Jesus Christ, this will be fun. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. President John Adams. Good luck. How does Hamilton, the short-tempered protean creator of the Coast Guard, founder of the New York Post, ardently abuse his cabinet post, destroy his reputation? Welcome, folks, to the Adams administration. Jefferson's the runner-up, which makes him the vice president. Washington can't help you now, no more Mr. Nice President. Adams fires Hamilton, privately calls him Creole loser in his taunts. Say what? Hamilton publishes his response. An open letter to the fat, arrogant, anti-charismatic national embarrassment known as President John Adams. The man's irrational. He claims that I'm in league with Britain in some vast international intrigue. Trick, please. You wouldn't know what I'm doing. You're always going berserk, but you never show up to work. Give my regards to Abigail next time you write about my lack of moral compass. At least I do my job up in this rumpus. The line is behind me, I crossed it again, where the president lost it again. Oh, it's such a rough life, better run to your wife, you're the boss in Boston again. Let me ask you a question, who sits at your desk when you're in Massachusetts? They were calling you a jerk back in 76, and you haven't done anything new since. You're a nuisance with no sense, you will die of irrelevance. Go ahead, you can call me the devil, you inspired him, you inspired malevolence. Say hi to the Jeffersons and spies all around me, maybe they can confirm. I don't care if I killed my career with this letter, I'm confining you to one term. Sit down, John, you fat mother... Hamilton's out of control. This is great. He's out of power, he holds no office, and he just destroyed President John Adams, the only other significant member of his party. Hamilton is a host unto himself. As long as he can hold a pen, he's a threat. Let's let him know what we know. Mr. Vice President. Mr. Madison. Senator Burr. What is this? We have the check stubs from separate accounts. Almost $1,000 paid in different amounts to a Mr. James Reynolds way back in 1791. Is that what you have? Are you done? You are uniquely situated by virtue of your position, though virtue is not a word I'd apply to this situation, to seek financial gain, to stray from your sacred nation, and the evidence suggests you engaged in speculation. An immigrant embezzling a government fund. I can almost see the headline, your career is done. I hope you save some money for your daughter and sons. Yeah, best go on and run back where you come from. Ha! You don't even know what you're asking me to confess. You have nothing, I don't have to tell you anything at all. Unless if I can prove that I never broke the law, do you promise not to tell another soul what you saw? No one else was in the room where it happened. Is that a yes? Yes. Dear sir, I hope this letter finds you in good health, and in a prosperous enough position to put wealth in the pockets of people like me down under luck. You see, that was my wife, you decided to... What? She courted me, escorted me to bed, and when she had me in her corner, that's when Reynolds extorted me for a sordid fee. I paid him quarterly. I may have mortally wounded my prospects, but my papers are orderly. As you can see, I kept a record of every check in my checkered history. Check it again against your list and see consistency. I never spent a cent that wasn't mine. You sent the dogs after my scent, that's fine. Yes, I have reason for shame, but I have not committed treason and sullied my good name. As you can see, I have done nothing to provoke legal action. Are my answers to your satisfaction? My God. Gentlemen, let's go. So... the people won't know what we know. Burr, how do I know you won't use this against me the next time we go toe-to-toe? Alexander, rumors only grow, and we both know what we know. In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. yellow sky. When I was 17, a hurricane destroyed my town. I didn't drown, I couldn't seem to die. I wrote my way out, wrote everything down far as I could see. I wrote my way out, I looked up and the town had its eyes on me. They passed a plate around, total strangers, moved to kindness by my story. Raised enough for me to book passage on a ship that was New York bound. I wrote my way out of heck, I wrote my way to revolution. I was louder than the crack in the bell. I wrote Eliza love letters until she fell. I wrote about the Constitution and defended it well. And in the face of ignorance and resistance, I wrote financial systems into existence. And when my prayers to God were met with indifference, I picked up a pen, I wrote my own deliverance. In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. A yellow sky. I was 12 when my mother died. She was holding me. We were sick and she was holding me. I couldn't seem to die. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I'll write my way out. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Write everything down far as I can. Wait for it, wait for it. History has its eyes. I'll write my way out. Overwhelm them with honesty. This is the eye of the hurricane. This is the only way I can protect my legacy. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait. The Reynolds pamphlet. The Reynolds pamphlet. Have you read this? Alexander Hamilton had a torrid affair, and he wrote it down right there. Highlights. The charge against me is a connection with one James Reynolds for purposes of improper speculation. My real crime's an amorous connection with his wife for a considerable time, with his knowing consent. Darn! I had frequent meetings with her, most of them in my own house. At his own house? At his own house?
Darn.
Mrs. Hamilton with her children being absent on a visit to her father. No. Have you read this?
Well, he's never gonna be president now.
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 He's never gonna be president now.
Never gonna be president now.
That's one less thing to worry about.
That's one less thing to worry about. I came as soon as I heard.
What?
Angelica.
All the way from London? Darn!
Angelica, thank God someone who understands what I'm struggling here to do. I'm not here for you.
Ooh.
I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. I love my sister more than anything in this life. I will choose her happiness over mine every time. But what we had aside, I'm standing at her side. You can never be satisfied. God, I hope you're satisfied.
Well, he's never gonna be president now.
Never gonna be president now.
He's never gonna be president now.
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 That's one less thing to worry about.
That's one less thing to worry about. Hey, president now. At least he was honest with them. Never gonna be president now. Never gonna be president now. Never gonna be president now. At least he was honest with them. Never gonna be president now. That's one less thing to worry about.
The Reynolds pamphlet.
Have you read this? You ever see somebody run their own life?
It's for a wife.
I saved every letter you wrote me. From the moment I read them, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive? She said, be careful with that one, love. He will do what it takes to survive. You and your words flooded my senses. Your sentences left me defenseless. You built me palaces out of paragraphs. You built cathedrals. I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. I'm searching and scanning for answers in every line, for some kind of sign. And when you were mine, the world seemed to burn. You published the letters she wrote you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. In clearing your name, you have ruined our lives. Do you know what Angelica said when she read what you'd done? She said, you have married an Icarus. He has flown too close to the sun. You and your words obsessed with your legacy. Your sentences border on senseless, and you are paranoid in every paragraph how they perceive you. I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart. You have torn it all apart, I'm watching it burn. Watching it burn. The world has no right to my heart. The world has no place in our bed. They don't get to know what I said. I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. You forfeit all rights to my heart. You forfeit the place in our bed. You'll sleep in your office instead, with only the memories of when you were mine. I hope that you burn. Meet the latest graduate at King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dang, I amaze and astonish. The scholars say I got the same virtuosity and brains as my pops. The ladies say my brain's not where the resemblance stops. I'm only 19, but my mind is older. Gotta be my own man, like my father, but bolder. I shoulder his legacy with pride. I used to hear him say that someday I would blow us all away. Ladies, I'm looking for a Mr. George Eager. Made a speech last week, our 4th of July speaker. He disparaged my father's legacy in front of a crowd. I can't have that, I'm making my father proud. I saw him just up Broadway a couple of blocks. He was going to see a play. Well, I'll go visit his box. God, you're a fox. Hey, y'all look pretty good in your frocks. How about when I get back, we all strip down to our socks? Okay. Yeah. Blow us all away. George, I'm trying to watch the show. You should have watched your mouth before you talked about my father, though. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. Your father's a scoundrel, and so it seems are you. It's like that? Yeah, I don't fool around. I'm not your little schoolboy friend. See you on the dueling ground. That is unless you want to step outside and go now. Now I know where to find you. Screw off. I'm watching the show now. Pops, if you'd only heard the stuff he said about you, I doubt you would have let it slide, and I was not about to. Slow down. I came to ask you for advice. This is my very first duel. They don't exactly cover this subject in boarding school. Did your friends attempt to negotiate a peace? You refused to apologize. We had to let the peace talk cease. Where is this happening? Across the river in Jersey. Everything is legal in New Jersey. Alright, so this is what you're gonna do. Stand there like a man until Icar is in front of you. When the time comes, fire your weapon in the air. This will put an end to the whole affair. But what if he decides to shoot, then I'm a goner? No. He'll follow suit if he's truly a man of honor. To take someone's life, that is something you can't shake. Philip, your mother can't take another heartbreak. Father, promise me, you don't want this young man's blood on your conscience? Okay, I promise. Come back home when you're done. Take my guns. Be smart. Make me proud, son. My name is Philip. I am a poet. And I'm a little nervous, but I can't show it. I'm sorry, I'm a Hamilton with pride. You talking about my father, I cannot let it slide. Mr. Eaker, how was the rest of your show?
I'd rather skip the pleasantries. Let's go. Grab your pistols.
Confer with your men. The duel will commence after we count to 10.
Count to 10.
Look him in the eye, aim no higher. Summon all the courage you require. Then slowly and clearly aim your guns towards the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stay alive. Stay alive.
Where's my son? Mr. Hamilton, come in. They brought him in half an hour ago. He lost a lot of blood on the way.
Is he alive?
Yes, but you have to understand the bullet entered just above his hip and lodged in his right arm.
Can I see him, please?
I'm doing everything I can, but the wound was already infected when he arrived.
Philip. Pa. I did exactly as you said, Pa. I held my head up high. I know. Shh. I know you did everything just right. Even before we got to 10. I was aiming for the sky. I know. I was aiming for the sky. I know, save your strength and stay alive. Eliza, is he breathing? Is he going to survive this? Who did this, Alexander? Did you know? Mom, I'm so sorry for forgetting what you taught me. My son, we played piano. I taught you piano. You would put your hands on mine. You changed the melody every time. I would always change the line. Shh, I know. I would always change the line. I know. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf. Good. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf. 8, 8, 9. 7, 8. There are moments that the words don't reach. There is suffering too terrible to name. You hold your child as tight as you can and push away the unimaginable. The moments when you're in so deep, it feels easier to just swim down. The Hamiltons move uptown and learn to live with the unimaginable. I spend hours in the garden. I walk alone to the store, and it's quiet uptown. I never liked the quiet before. I take the children to church on Sunday, a sign of the cross at the door, and I pray. That never used to happen before. If you see him in the street, walking by himself, talking to himself, have pity. Philip, you would like it uptown. It's quiet uptown. He is working through the unimaginable. His hair is gone gray. He passes every day. They say he walks the length of the city. You knock me out, I fall apart. Can you imagine? Look at where we are. Look at where we started. I know I don't deserve you, Eliza, but hear me out, that would be enough. If I could spare his life, if I could trade his life for mine, he'd be standing here right now, and you would smile, and that would be enough. I don't pretend to know the challenges we're facing. I know there's no replacing what we've lost, and you need time, but I'm not afraid. I know who I married. Just let me stay here by your side. That would be enough. If you see him in the streets, walking by her side, talking by her side, have pity. Eliza, do you like it uptown? It's quiet uptown. He is trying to do the unimaginable. See them walking in the park, long after dark, taking in the sights of the city. Look around, Eliza. They are trying to do the unimaginable. There are moments that the words don't reach. There's a grace too powerful to name. We push away that we can never understand. We push away the unimaginable. They are standing in the garden, Alexander by Eliza's side. She takes his hand. It's quiet uptown. Forgiveness. Can you imagine? Forgiveness. Can you imagine? If you see him in the street, walking by her side, talking by her side, have pity. They are going through the unimaginable. The election of 1800. Can we get back to politics, please? Yo, every action has its equal opposite reaction. John Adams pooped the bed. I love the guy, but he's in traction. Poor Alexander Hamilton, he is missing in action. So now I'm facing Aaron Burr with his own faction. He's very attractive in the North. New York is like his chances. He's not very forthcoming on any particular stances. Ask him a question, it glances off, he obfuscates, he dances. And they say I'm a Francophile, at least they know I know where France is. Thomas, that's the problem. See, they see Burr as a less extreme you. You need to change course. A key endorsement might redeem you. Who did you have in mind? Now, don't laugh. Who is it? You used to work on the same staff. What? It might be nice. It might be nice to get Hamilton on your side. It might be nice. It might be nice to get Hamilton on your side. Talk less, Burr. Smile more, Burr. Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for. Burr. Shake hands with him, Burr. Charm her, Burr. It's 1800, ladies, tell your husbands, vote for Burr. I don't like Adam. Well, he's gonna lose, that's just defeatist. And Jefferson, in love with France. Yeah, he's so elitist. I like that Aaron Burr. I can't believe we're here with him. He seems approachable, like you can grab a beer with him. Dear Mr. Hamilton, your fellow veteralist would like to know how you'll be voting. It's quiet uptown. Dear Mr. Hamilton, John Adams doesn't stand a chance, so who are you promoting? It's quiet uptown. Jefferson or Burr? Jefferson or Burr? We know it's lose-lose. Jefferson or Burr? But if you had to choose, dear Mr. Hamilton, John Adams doesn't stand a chance, so who are you promoting? But if you had to choose, well, if it isn't Aaron Burr, sir. Alexander, you've created quite a stir, sir. I'm going door to door. You're openly campaigning? Sure. That's new. Honestly, it's kinda draining. Burr, sir, is there anything you wouldn't do? No, I'm chasing what I want. And you know what? What? I learned that from you. If you had to choose, if you had to choose, it's a tie. If you had to choose, if you had to choose, it's up to the delegates. If you had to choose, if you had to choose, it's up to Hamilton. If you had to choose, if you had to choose, yo. Oh, the people are asking to hear my voice. Oh, but the country is facing a difficult choice. Oh, and if you were to ask me who I'd promote, oh, Jefferson has my vote. Oh, I have never agreed with Jefferson once. Oh, we have fought on like 75 different fronts. Oh, but when all is said and all is done, Jefferson has beliefs, Burr has none. Ooh, well, I'll be damned. Well, I'll be damned. Hamilton's on your side. Well, I'll be damned. Well, I'll be damned. And you won in a landslide. Congrats on a race well run. I did give you a fight. I look forward to our partnership as your vice president. Yeah, right, man. You hear this guy? Man openly campaigns against me, talking about I look forward to our partnership. It is crazy that the guy who comes in second gets to be vice president. Yeah, you know what? We can change that. You know why? Why? Because I'm the president. Burr, when you see Hamilton, thank him for the endorsement. How does Hamilton, an arrogant, immigrant, orphan, loser, bore son, somehow endorse Thomas Jefferson, his enemy, a man he's despised since the beginning, just to keep me from winning? I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. You've kept me from the room where it happens for the last time. Dear Alexander, I am slow to anger, but I toe the line as I reckon with the effect of your life on mine. I look back on where I failed, and in every place I checked, the only common thread has been your disrespect. Now you call me amoral, a dangerous disgrace. If you've got something to say, name a time and place, face to face. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Burr. Mr. Vice President, I am not the reason no one trusts you. No one knows what you believe. I will not equivocate on my opinion. I have always worn it on my sleeve. Even if I said what you think I said, you would need to cite a more specific grievance. Here's an itemized list of 30 years of disagreement. Sweet Jesus. Hey, I have not been shy. I am just a guy in the public eye, trying to do my best for our republic. I don't want to fight, but I won't apologize for doing what's right. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Ham. Careful how you proceed, good man. Intemperate indeed, good man. Answer for the accusations I lay at your feet, or prepare to plead, good man. Burr, your grievance is legitimate. I stand by what I said, every bit of it. You stand only for yourself. It's what you do. I can't apologize because it's true. Then stand, Alexander. We hawkin' dawn. Guns drawn. You're on. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Ham, A. Burr. Alexander, come back to sleep. I have an early meeting out of town. It's still dark outside. I know. I just need to write something down. Why do you write like you're running out of time? Come back to bed, that would be enough. I'll be back before you know I'm gone. Come back to sleep. This meeting's at dawn. Well, I'm going back to sleep. Hey, best of wives and best of women. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 things you need to know. Number 1, we rode across the Hudson at dawn. My friend William P. Van Ness signed on as my number 2. Hamilton arrived with his crew, Nathaniel Pendleton and a doctor that he knew. Number 3, I watched Hamilton examine the terrain. I wish I could tell you what was happening in his brain. This man has poisoned my political pursuits. Most disputes die and no one shoots. Number 4, Hamilton drew first position, looking to the world like a man on a mission. This is a soldier with a marksman's ability. The doctor turned around so he can have deniability. 5, now I didn't know this at the time, but we were near the same spot. Your son died, is that why? 6, he examined his gun with such rigor. I watched as he methodically fiddled with the trigger. 7, confession time, here's what I got. My fellow soldiers will tell you I'm a terrible shot. Number 8, your last chance to negotiate. Send in your second, see if they could set the record straight. They won't teach you this in your classes, but look it up, Hamilton was wearing his glasses. Why? If not to take deadly aim, it's him or me, the world will never be the same. I had only one thought before the slaughter. This man will not make an orphan of my daughter. Number 9, look him in the eye, aim no higher. Summon all the courage you require. Then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10, bases fire. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me? On my feet, several feet ahead of me. I see it coming. Do I run or fire my gun or let it be? There is no beat, no melody. Brr, my first friend, my enemy. Maybe the last face I ever see. If I throw away my shot, is this how you remember me? What if this bullet is my legacy? Legacy. What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. I wrote some notes at the beginning of a song someone will sing for me. America, you great unfinished symphony you sent for me. You let me make a difference, a place where even orphan immigrants can leave their fingerprints and rise up. I'm running out of time, I'm running out of my time's up. Wise up, eyes up. I catch a glimpse from the other side. Lawrence leads the soldiers' chorus on the other side. My son is on the other side. He's with my mother on the other side. Washington is watching from the other side. Teach me how to say goodbye. Rise up, rise up, rise up, Eliza. My love, take your time. I'll see you on the other side. Raise a glass to freedom. He aims his pistol at the sky. Wait. I strike him right between his ribs. I walk towards him, but I am ushered away. They row him back across the Hudson. I get a drink. I hear wailing in the streets. Somebody tells me you'd better hide. They say Angelica and Eliza were both at his side when he died. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and history obliterates. In every picture it paints me in all my mistakes. When Alexander aimed at the sky, he may have been the first one to die, but I'm the one who paid for it. I survived, but I paid for it. Now I'm the villain in your history. I was too young and blind to see. I should have known the world was wide enough for both Hamilton and me. The world was wide enough for both Hamilton and me. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? President Jefferson, I'll give him this. His financial system is a work of genius. I couldn't undo it if I tried. And I tried.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
President Madison. He took our country from bankruptcy to prosperity. I hate to admit it, but he doesn't get enough credit for all the credit he gave us.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
Every other founding father's story gets told. Every other founding father gets to grow old. But when you're gone, who remembers your name? Who keeps your flame? Who tells your story?
Who tells your story?
Who tells your story?
Eliza.
I put myself back in the narrative.
Eliza.
I stopped wasting time on tears. I live another 50 years. It's not enough.
Eliza.
I interview every soldier who fought by your side.
She tells our story.
I tried to make sense of the thousands of pages of writing. You really do write like you're running out of time. I rely on Angelica. While she's alive, we tell your story. She is buried in Trinity Church near you. When I needed her most, she was right on time. And I'm still not through. I ask myself, what would you do if you had more time? The Lord in His kindness, He gives me what you've always wanted. He gives me more time. I raise funds in D.C. for the Washington Monument.
She tells my story.
I speak out against slavery. You could have done so much more if you only had time. And when my time is up, have I done enough?
Will they tell your story?
Oh, can I show you what I'm proudest of? The orphanage. I established the first private orphanage in New York City. The orphanage. I helped to raise hundreds of children. I get to see them growing up.
The orphanage.
In their eyes I see you, Alexander. I see you every time. And when my time is up, have I done enough?
Will they tell your story?
Oh, I can't wait to see you again. It's only a matter of time. Will they tell your story?
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
Will they tell your story?
Who tells your story?